To begin this exercise, I encourage you to bring a painful thought to mind. This may be a thought that's associated with an upsetting emotion such as anxiety, sadness, or anger. Once you've identified that thought, I want you to spend the next 10 seconds with your eyes closed, really fusing with that thought and getting all caught up in it and really treating it as if it is a fact. Now I would like for you, in your mind's eye, to picture a computer screen with a white background. And I want you to imagine this thought typed out on that screen in plain black text. And what we're going to do for the next few moments is to experiment with this thought by manipulating the text on the screen. Each time you make a change to the text, I want you to just notice what happens. So let's begin by simply changing the color of the text. Try changing the text from black to green. Now let's try blue. And how about red? Now let's change the text back to its starting point, black plain text. And let's play around with the font itself. Try italicizing the text in your mind's eye and notice what happens. Try bolding the text. And try underlining the text. Let's go back to that starting black text again. And let's play around with the formatting and size of the text. Begin by making the text really, really big, so that you almost have to scroll the computer screen in your mind to be able to see the entire thought. And now let's try making the text really, really small, so you almost have to squint to see what it says. Let's return to our starting text again. And let's play with the spacing. Notice what happens when you put huge spaces in between each word of the thought. Let's see what happens when you squish the thought together so it's one run-on word with no spaces at all. Let's return back to our starting text again. And now let's see if we can be really playful with this thought. Imagine this thought and the text it's written in as being bubbly, colorful script, such as you might see on the cover of a children's book. Bright, bubbly letters, Maybe each letter is a different color. Now let's change it into a really fancy kind of script, the type of writing you might see on a menu in a very fancy restaurant. Let's return now to our starting text. And just see if you can't manipulate the text a little bit. See if you can't make the words on the screen kind of jump up and down. Or maybe spin around or flip upside down. Let's return back to our starting text and see if you can't find a way of playing with it yourself in a way that just feels natural. You might want to change the font or the size or the color. Just see what you can do now on your own in the next couple moments, just manipulating and playing with this thought as it appears on the computer screen. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring yourself back to the room. And just take a moment now to reflect on this experience. What did you notice? Were there times when the thought felt more distant, more diffused? And were there times when the thought felt stronger, or you felt more fused with it? If you had trouble picturing the computer in your mind's eye, another way to experiment with this exercise is to actually use a computer screen. You can actually use your computer, a tablet, or a phone, and simply type the thought out in plain black text. And then using whatever program you have, try experimenting with the thought by changing its size, its style, and its formatting. You may find that participating in this exercise once a day or a number of times a week can actually give you some distance from the thought and train this muscle of diffusion.